Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Dan, and I'm going to be your tour guide today to the moonwalk of Apollo 11 that took place on July 20th, 1969, Central Standard Time between 10 o'clock p.m. and 12:15 a.m. on the 21st of July in 1969. I have two items here that I'd like to present to you. First of all, this is the famous visor shot of Mr. Buzz Aldrin, and you can see part of the, well, later on you'll be able to see part of the lunar module. Now, in this photo, this is what the way the landing site looks today. Let me see if I can hold it still. Can you hold it still for me? Thank you. Now, you can see where, let's see, I can't get my pen in the right place. There it is. There's the eagle. And then there is a long path going out to a crater where Neil Armstrong had walked. And then, coming back the other direction, we could see where the ALSEP station was set up, which is not the ALSEP station, it was called the ESEP, the Early Apollo Experiments Package. And then now, we'll give you the photographic evidence of the same thing. Let's, first of all, refer to the first picture. Where is it? Again, here is the visor shot, and then at the bottom of the page, it's pretty evident if you hold it up just a slightly bit higher. If you can then take your fingers off it, you could actually see part of the lunar module there. Yes, you could actually see part of the lunar module. So let's go back to the other. And so that we could see the way where that was taken. Where that was taken was when they come down the ladder. They're coming down the ladder this way. Well, actually, this way is the way they're coming down the ladder, and the sunlight's coming from the opposite direction. All right, and then so Buzz was standing approximately right over there, and that's where that famous visor shot was taken. So it's very close to the lunar module. And then now we can move on to the next photo. The next photo would be now of the actual television that we had seen here, and that would be Neil Armstrong in the black and white coming down the ladder. That's what we had actually seen or been able to see. Now, the actual picture being taken is of Buzz Aldrin coming down the ladder by Neil Armstrong. You can see that the sunlight's coming from the other side. Buzz was standing over in this direction and facing the opposite direction during the visor shot. Now, let's see what other famous pictures we could find here. Well, now here's a real nice one. This one here shows the entire science station set up, and it's a large one. Okay, you can see that Neil is standing behind Buzz, and behind Buzz is the lunar module. So let me then point out to you exactly where that is in the photo. Okay, in the photo, the science station is set up here. Neil is right behind. You can see the experiments. Neil is standing behind Buzz, and there's the experiments, and taking a picture straight on, going back towards the lunar module. The flag is behind it, and the camera is over to the side of the lunar module. Okay, let's find the next picture here. Let me see what we could do here about that. Okay, a little bit more here. This is a profile of the way they wanted to come in, the way they were hoping to land. They picked landing site 2, as was told. So there's a picture of that. That's a pretty accurate map of the area in which they had landed. They had 3 possible sites in the eastern edge of the Sea of Tranquility, and then we'll go on to, let's see where we're at here. Okay, this is the approach into the landing. There is an artist's depiction of it as well. The others are actually real pictures of what's going on. Now, certainly there's not a lot of fire coming out the bottom. There's a lot of hot gas coming out the bottom, but not a lot of fire. But again, that's an artist's depiction. So then we can move on to, this is the point where Neil Armstrong had walked way out to that crater and had taken this picture looking back at the lunar module. You can see his shadow. He's taking a picture of his own shadow there, looking back at the lunar module. Now, let's go back to the map so you can see exactly where he was when this had occurred. You can see the footprints coming all the way out to the crater here. He was at the crater looking back at the lunar module and taking that picture from that angle. Okay, let's go on to the next photo. Let's see what I can find here. Here's another good one. This photo here was Neil actually turning around and taking a picture of the inside of that crater that you see in the in that other photo taken in 2010. 1969 to 2010, nothing has changed. It's still the same. So I've got nothing to say, but it's okay. I'm a Beatles fan. So anyway, let me show you that on the actual photo again here, where Neil had, would you please hold that still for me? Thank you. Where Neil had come out from the LEM to this point, taking a picture in this direction, taking a picture in the opposite direction into the crater. And those two photos match perfectly with where the footprints are. Now, we can also see what else we could find here. Here's Buzz Aldrin setting up a solar wind experiment. This experiment collects particles of the sun as they strike this thing, and then they bring that back to Earth with them. So Buzz is setting up that experiment right there, very close to the lunar module. Let me give you an idea where it really is. So from the standpoint of where they were at the time, Buzz would have been setting that up approximately right around here, very close to where the flag was. And so he would have been right around this section of the lunar module, close to the Mesa area. That's the area workstation where the camera was originally taking the pictures before they moved the camera out. Well, I should say in the opposite direction, over, let's see, yeah, over in this direction. And you can see a lot of the footprints going back and forth. Those footprints going back and forth are Buzz Aldrin testing the suit. If you watch the moonwalk or bought the moonwalk, you could actually see that for yourself. Now, let's find another picture here of something that, okay, and this is from inside the lunar module. Now, the flag itself is still standing. You can see all the footprints all over the place. You can see paths in the LRO photos as well that are still there now. Now, the thing about that flag is that they knocked that thing over when they'd taken off. All the hot gases that come out, they set the flag up too close to the lunar module. As you can see, they're looking straight down at it, and this thing is about 23 feet tall, so they're about 12 feet in the air or more, maybe about 18 feet in the air, taking a picture down at the flag. Okay, and let's show the location of the flag. Okay, now the location of the flag should be, I believe, should be right about, well, the experiments are here, so the flag should be somewhere around here, closer to the television, the flag, and then the television camera, in that vicinity. Okay, now we'll go back to the lunar liftoff. Again, the artist depicts all this fire coming out, and you see what you're looking at today is the bottom half of the lunar module. You are not looking at the entire lunar module. You're only looking at that bottom half because that's all that's left. The top half cuts loose and comes back down and crashes after the astronauts, of course, had gotten back into the command module. And of course, there is no fire, no big fireballs coming out of it. That's an artist's depiction. There's a lot of hot gases coming out of here. some of which had knocked over the flag, as I'd said. Now, we can go back to some other pictures that, well, okay. Then this is what they see, you know, from deep space. You could see the entire continent of Africa there at the bottom. You can see Africa. It's under cloud cover somewhat, but it's pretty easy to make out the continents. And then the Sinai Peninsula up at the top, etc. And then Michael Collins is over here teaching us how to shave in space. And Buzz Aldrin here is on TV. They had a color TV in the Columbia, which is their command module. And he's teaching us how to spread peanut butter, you know, make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in space. Okay, now, from there, we see the reentry. The reentry is coming in 25,000 miles per hour. And the spacecraft is always very shiny when you see it in other pictures. But this is what it looks like after it lands. It's a very intense landing. It takes a very short period of time. But from deep space, that's what happens. And you can see how charred and messed up this thing looks, but it protects the astronauts just absolutely perfectly. It is built with 5 heat shields, not just 1, not just 2, 5 heat shields. So it is almost a completely fail-safe system. And let's see what happens with the next picture. This is Neil, Buzz. These are they in quarantine. And yeah, there they are, all smiles. They had just returned from the moon. Now, they quarantined the lunar rocks as well. And, well, it's pretty obvious today, but I don't know how many people wanted to know about it back then. But there are such things as lunar germs. There's bacteria in lunar rocks, but there's more bacteria in the backyard, in your backyard, than there is in any lunar rock. So there's absolutely nothing to fear. But anyway, take care, and we'll see you on the next video. My name is Dan Ragan. My YouTube channel name is DANSING124. It's mostly music, and I was about to play music today, and I just changed my mind and said, well, I just discovered an old book and a new picture, and I said, well, gee, these things match just perfectly. And so I just wanted to present that to you, and thank you for letting me be your tour guide today for the moonwalk of Apollo 11. Thank you very much, and we will see you on the next video. Okay, have a great week, folks.
Peace out.
That too.
Thanks.
Why not?
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye-bye.